Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show. We are joined tonight by Boston John and his cat. Well, we were joined by Boston John and his cat.
His agent told him to get out. He's like, I got to get paid for this. Yeah.
I'm in the union. I don't, forget it.
He's on relocation. So
is it Swingin' Jay from Temecula or Jay from Swingin' Temecula?
I think Jay from Swingin'. Yeah, it's
Jay from Swingin'.
Pretty.
We got Eric, who's from close enough to Boston. We've got little Kevin from Ohio. And joining us on audio only because he's in an exclusive resort right now and he doesn't want to reveal where he's at. We have Damon. He's also in the room on audio. So he'll be
participating. What's up, guys?
Tonight.
Wish you well.
Thank
you. I was talking to some friends the other night about an artist that I like. And Jay is going to railroad me because I was talking about Prince. And Jay always likes to browbeat me whenever I mention that guy.
Prince had a couple good songs.
I was sharing some songs that I thought were cool. And one of my friends said, yeah, but they don't dance to it. And it got me thinking. I think we need to separate business from pleasure. And I think sometimes DJs have a difficult time doing this.
Very difficult.
Just because they're not going to dance to it doesn't mean that you can enjoy something. So I thought to kick this conversation off, maybe it would be fun to go around the room and mention an artist or a group or a song that you just absolutely love that you know you would never play in an event. It just would be very unlikely. Maybe you have before, but it's unlikely you would play this song or an artist at an event. Jay, you go first.
Aerosmith, Seasons of Wither.
You play Aerosmith, but not that track.
Never played it at a wedding. It's my favorite song by them, but I would never play it at a wedding. I just.
How about you, Damon? Is there something that you dig that you may not bring to the masses?
You know what? Enigma. Sadness. I love that. I love that album. Love that group, but never. I can't play them nowhere.
I used to play at the club a lot, way back. That was a big one in kind of the college nights.
It was 20 years ago, and now you can't play. No,
come on. Okay, let's be honest with ourselves here. Try 35 years ago.
I was going to say that was like mid 90s. I was playing that.
I was trying to be nice.
20 years ago, it's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Yeah,
that was a very different time.
It was almost over 30 years ago. Yeah,
it was well over 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. But you can't play that nowhere now.
No. How about you, Eric? Is there something you dig that you don't think you'd ever play at an event?
Well, I mean, there are many, but the one that comes to mind right away, and maybe some of you will know it, is Someone Can Lose a Heart Tonight, Eddie Rabbitt.
Yes.
I love that song.
It's a great song.
I don't think I could pull it off at an event, ever.
No. And it's one of those songs that's like, there's so many, and a lot of 80s songs are like this.
Yeah.
They're about breakups or heartbreak or something. Yep. So they just don't seem like wedding appropriate. So if you're doing a lot of wedding stuff, you tend to not play them. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
How about you, Kevin? Is there something that you enjoy that you would never play at an event?
Usually what happens is I get set up early enough that I get to play anything I want to hear before it starts.
That's my catering staff.
My personal time. But there's an artist I like. She was with the Go-Go's. I like the song Summer Rain by Belinda Carlisle. It's just sort of a little ditty that I don't know that anybody knows. You know, it's just a song I like to play. So
I don't know if I know that one.
Belinda always wondered who bought that song.
She always wondered who bought that song.
Yeah, now she
the one copy she sold. Yeah.
There was one. Yeah.
I loved Heaven is a Place on Earth and Circles in the Sand. I thought was good. Not About You was good, but yeah. I think I've done Heaven is a Place on Earth before. I think I've done that one.
I've done that one as well.
Let's see.
Mixes with Bon Jovi, believe it or not. It mixes with Shot in the Heart.
Oh, Shot in the Heart. Yeah. Shot to the Heart.
Whatever.
John, what do you dig that you'd never play at an event?
Like I like the group The Divinals, but they got one song that's content dangerous, and then Pleasure and Pain nobody knows, and I like listening to those, and it's just nobody knows it. And it's
Another one I used to play the living hell out of was I Touch
I
Myself.
did too.
And I dig that song.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, not
When
for
her
like a
voice
school dance or anything.
later in the towards the end of the song, she does the part where her voice squeals a little bit. Right down the spine.
I've probably mentioned this before, but when that track came out, it was getting played a lot. The video was getting played at the club. And I remember a friend of mine turned to me and said, "Oh my God, she's 30. She's an old lady." I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's gross."
Oh yeah. 84 when we were 15 or under, it's like, oh, she's somebody's mama.
That song is 89 or 90, I think.
Is it later? I have that on vinyl still, so I think it was about 90. I kind of drifted away from getting vinyl, but yeah, that makes sense. But that's just one of those ones. It's I'll throw it on when I'm listening, or I'll throw it in a Twitch set or something. But I know in the real world, it's just not going to fly anymore. It's too far. Sure,
but it's cool. So that's kind of giving you an idea of what we're talking about tonight. Just getting our feet wet on it. Just stuff we're doing for us. And I think we all got into DJing for different reasons. I did it because I love music and I thought it would be interesting to play that for people. It wasn't about getting in front of people. It wasn't about sound or lights or any of that. It was about playing music for people. That was my main thing. Getting in front of people was something that I had to was part of the deal, so I had to learn to do it. But that wasn't why I did it. It was about playing tunes for people. I thought that would be fun.
That's the hot part.
Well,
it's in front of people like public.
The right tunes.
Yeah. A lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know if they say it anymore, but they used to say that when they ask people what their biggest fears are, public speaking ranks higher than death.
Right. And we all know Jay's not good at public speaking.
No, he's terrified of it.
Working on it.
He's very shy.
Good thing his job doesn't have anything to do with that.
No.
Yep.
No.
One of these days.
Should we do another round before we expand on this? Just to kind of
on the next round, let's do this. Let's do the song that you love that you don't play at weddings, but let's do the song that you hate that you do. Like you're just over a song. Play it like weekend.
Got a big list for that.
It's a bunch of those.
I figured it's a little bit of a balancing act.
We can. I will just say.
Think?
Okay, just so everybody knows, this is Jay's idea. I try to keep it positive around here, but let's go ahead and we can do that one too.
All right.
So who would like Jay? You can go first.
Okay. Song I've never played at a wedding that I love, that I've played at jukeboxes, and I've watched the mood of the bar drop dramatically, is 9 Inch Nails, Something I Can Never Have.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of a
great song. And a track that I find I play all the time, that every time I play it, I put on a good face and I jump up and down and stuff. But man, I don't like Mr. Brightside. I don't get it. It's not my cup of tea. I love the first Killers album, but Mr. Brightside is just, I don't affiliate with it. So to me, it's an anthem. It's like when I see football anthems and soccer.
Yeah.
And they're all screaming and stuff. I'm like, okay, you lost me. I know it fits and it's a demo and there's a group that adores it and I respect that. But I got to admit, when it comes time to play it, I'm not screaming the lyrics with everyone else. Sorry, kids.
Damon, what is it? What's it?
Okay.
What's another one? Plus one, you get to add and subtract one, I guess, on your.
Okay, well, the song that I try not to play at weddings anymore, it has been a while, is Closer, 9 Inch Nails. Just because the lyrics gets a little rough at a wedding,
Yeah, it does.
I don't think I've ever tried that at a wedding.
Did you just tell us the song you like or the song that you don't like?
The song I don't like.
Okay. So what's the song you like? You got what song you like to?
The song that I like is Send Me an Angel.
Real life.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
It's a great song.
And the crazy thing is I play that one a lot because I do a lot of stuff with BMXers. That was in the movie Rad. So
was it really?
Yeah. So once I'll play that, all the BMXers go crazy and start reacting to the scene from the movie. So
nice.
So those are my two right there.
You got one for us, Eric? One you don't like that you have to play, and one you like that you don't get to play. In whichever order you want to give them.
One I play that I don't like to play, and it's because I think every DJ out there from the age of 12 on, whatever the age they started, was Celebration. It was just overplayed at every wedding.
Sure.
And I stopped playing that years ago. Unless it's requested by the bride or groom, or I try to stay away from it. That's like YMCA, same thing. It's overplayed at every wedding. I was like, I try to stay away from that stuff.
Sure.
Now, something that I like that I can't play at a wedding, I'm just gonna Chicago. Hard to say. I'm sorry. You couldn't.
That's a nice song. Yeah,
but it's a great song. It just don't fit at a wedding. I wouldn't.
Yeah. That's High School Dance 1984.
Yeah. But but it's a great song.
Or Skating Rink was the big skating rink.
Well, couples only.
That's right. Couples only.
Put the shoes back inside the skates and return them to the.
That's right. Shoot laces back inside the skates. Kevin, one you don't like, but one you like. One you don't like that you have to play, and one you like that you can't play.
Well, I want to go with one again during my pre-setup time that I like to play for myself. I like Breaking Benjamin, Evil Angel.
Oh. No, Brian, that's Brian's favorite band. He was just in the room.
Yeah.
He would have loved to have heard that.
He's seen them like 9 times.
Yeah. And then the one that I sort of like, I didn't hear that or see that written down, WAP.
WAP.
You play at weddings a lot?
I just request, and I just say no.
I've never played that at a public event.
But they want to hear it. So I understand.
I have had a bride come up and request that. It's like, you got kids here. They're your kids. I don't care.
I have too. And
so
I don't have
if she goes ahead, I will do it. But pretty much I won't at school dances or anything unless someone that's paying me comes up, then I'll play it. Otherwise, I just find it just offensive through and through.
Stupid.
Yeah.
John, what do you got?
I never understood why Believe from Cher got as popular as it did. If you listen to the lyrics, it's a divorcee song. Like, do you believe in
a divorcee? That's what it is.
It's a cougar song, right?
Yes.
And she's got songs for the lonely. She's got Turn Back Time. There's so many other better ones, and I just don't understand.
Enough. Yeah, that whole album.
Strong enough.
Go away, mister.
I don't know why that rocketed. I don't.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good shirt.
That was.
Right. Yeah. The I don't understand why that rocketed to the charts. Now I do some shows for some entertainers, and that's one of their songs.
That's a big one. Yeah.
That I have to put that on for them, and it's just like, and I'm looking at the crowd. I'm like, it's a room full of divorcees and single women that are previously married, and that's their vibe, and that's why they understand it. And I, as a male, just didn't get it. I was just like, I can empathize, but it's just like it wasn't and it was every time you played anything that was close to that 2000 zone, somebody wanted to hear that. Someone would come up and just ask for that. It was a given.
Can I add to that just a little bit? If you do play Believe, Cher, everybody in that room is going to start singing it, and that's what I found.
It's
like
become
everybody just right, and I don't care who they are, how old they are. It's like everybody it's like a sing along, really. They all just go nuts and sing it.
My sister,
I don't get why.
My sister got divorced almost exactly a year before I did. And we were at Thanksgiving and we were both divorced. And she was still feeling it. And that song had just come out and that was her anthem. And then she went right back to church and it was all over. But
I think you have to look at the demo and the groups. I know the group John's dealing with, and it's the same group I deal with, and it's important to my group as a lesbian trapped inside a man's body that it's a song that I can see vision with. So I'm glad you consider that, John. I think highly of you now.
Oh,
did you give us a song that you liked that you couldn't play? Because that was a 2-4 for us.
Oh, well, it was just the Sharon. I gave
you don't like Cher, but you have to play it. But
that's just expected. But song for the lonely, or like you said on that same record, there were a lot of other bangers, and even stuff that she had was older than that.
Yeah. Well, Strong Enough was kind of the same thing. I'm strong enough to live without you. You got to go.
Yeah.
Is there a connection to like when Sonny passed away when he had his accident? I mean, did that happen around then, or was that way
No,
before?
Sonny died after that.
Was after?
Yeah.
'Cause she was kind of singing it like an independent woman, you know, and then he had.
But she loved Sonny. She talked
Oh, well.
smack about Sonny, but she loved that man.
They were close.
I was just wondering if that's why she was suddenly like, all right, I'm back on the market again, you know.
My baby mama and I have talked smack about each other, but we love each other. It's
She
just
dated that
there's a lot
Bagel
of
Boy,
that.
Remember? She was dating the Bagel Boy around that period of time.
Yeah, she probably was.
She's been around. She's like 110 years old. So she dated Greg Allman, Gene Simmons.
She's dating a 35-year-old now, and she's like 70 something. But I saw something recently in Newsbreak, and it's like Cher out with her young boyfriend of like 35 or something, and it's like, what? So's Madonna. The only thing is Cher looks like Cher. Madonna looks like you probably should.
She looks like that puppet in Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got
Every time I
instead
look
of
at
pulling
this
it back, they've kind of pulled it out.
Shall we play a game?
Oh, she looks like Jigsaw. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jigsaw. Yeah.
Yeah, the puppet.
He's
come down to being a puppet on a tricycle. But she's rich, so she's laughing at
I like Madonna. I'm not trying to hate on that. I just
she's got a sense of humor too. She would do that for a Halloween costume, she'd be like,
she could own that.
Put anything on. No, I'm Jigsaw on a tricycle.
Just a couple of circles, just the red circles.
A song that I don't like that I have had to play a lot at weddings. I don't like the track. Is Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. I don't like that song.
Oh, that is so your zone too. That's your area. Like,
well, I normally would really jam to that, but for some reason I'm not feeling it.
Do you get? I'm curious. Do you get it like I do with the
father-daughter?
Every 10th mother-son
or mother-son. Yeah,
it's mother-son.
It's mother-son for this Saturday. I had like,
and it's this version or that version, and there's different. But they're all. I don't like any of them. There's nothing you can do to that song for me to say, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, and you got to cut it because it's a long song.
Well, the Skinner one's really long.
5.5 minutes.
It's long.
Yeah. I can tell you that I don't enjoy playing that song because I don't. I really don't like it. And the worst is if you ever have to do karaoke and someone sings that song, that makes you hate it even more. Eric can relate to that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But something I like in place of that I can't. That I genuinely like and I can't play. There are so many songs. In fact, my rule has been since I was probably 18 years old that if I'm DJing a wedding and I play a song I'm enjoying, I'm probably doing something wrong. Because most of the music that they wanted to hear wasn't necessarily my jam. A lot of it wasn't. So I don't know. Gee, there are so many. There are so many.
We could go on all night with those.
You could go all night. I could do the Prince catalog alone, but I don't listen to Prince a lot in my spare time. In my spare time, maybe something that I really enjoy, that I really, really like, and I don't feel like I can get away with playing it at gigs. How about
Chevy Van? No, I'm kidding.
Well, that would be one.
Henry Gross.
Yacht Rock stuff.
Shannon coming around again.
I'm not a Shannon guy. How about Kenny Loggins? I'm All Right. I love that song, but I don't play to gigs. I really like that song.
I did do that at gigs back.
I have, but I typically don't.
I don't think I've played that at a gig in forever.
No, back in the day we played it a bunch because that was before Footloose came out, before Danger Zone came out. Now there's better choices.
If you're doing anything with a golf course, I highly suggest you play it multiple.
Yeah, it's probably
right. If you're in a country club,
same artist, but I still do Footloose quite often. That goes
that's still.
And then it's like my least favorite Big Kenny Loggins song. Is that one. And I have to play it all the time. An artist who I really enjoy, I have to play my least favorite song by him at least 50% of the jobs that I do.
Oh, wow. You guys get the Blake Shelton version of that the same way I get the Darius Rucker version of
Footloose?
Wagon Wheel. Yeah.
Blake Shelton version is I mean, it worked for a hot second, but
Yeah,
then
it was big out here for about a half a year, and then
Yeah.
people
Wow.
went back to Kenny Loggins
Yep.
because Blake Shelton covered it in the new movie version of Food.
I actually don't remember
Oh.
the Blake Shelton version.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
Yeah. When they re-released Footloose, remade it.
Yeah,
He did
they
a
put
version
Blake
of it.
Shelton. Did
Oh, is
the-
that
He
when
cracked
they
his
did
voice.
that?
I gotta come.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't go that high. It's like a Blake Shelton song that sounds like he's trying to karaoke Kenny Loggins. But it's like you have old medicine, old
Old Crow Medicine Show.
versus Darius Rucker.
Right.
For
Yeah,
Wagon
which
Wheel.
one's better? The Darius Rucker version is better.
I'm not saying it's not, but I think there's more emotion in the original. But I get older crowd wants the old Crow, younger crowd wants Darius Rucker.
Yeah, because they're one's country and one's heavy metal.
I mean, I think they're pretty identical.
Right, I was going to say that. They sound
They are.
much alike.
It's not racist or anything.
No, it's a bathroom
No.
break song. That clocks in at 5 minutes. I can go do stuff. That's
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I get some free time.
I don't even think
don't
it's
cut it
the
short.
Darius because Darius is more popular as Darius.
Yeah.
I mean, when's the last time anyone here got a request for Hootie and the Blowfish?
Oh, but how big was Hootie and the Blowfish?
Oh, I like them
My
too.
God, how massive was Hootie and
Grammys
the
and
Blowfish
everything.
back then?
But I haven't played a Hootie track, and Hootie had great tracks.
Right.
I had to.
I only want to be with you.
Hold my
There were
Hand.
several
Those
years
are
in
good
the-
bangers.
There were several years in the 1980s where you had to play Hootie and the Blowfish. They'd lose their minds.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I only want to be with you. Let Her Cry was a slow song.
Yep.
Was it even Old Man in Me they wanted to hear? I mean, there were all kinds that.
Time was another big one.
Time, another
Well,
slow one. Big,
Boys, we're living in weird times. The biggest summer rock tour, everyone's like, oh, it's Journey. Nope. Oh, it's Aerosmith. Nope. It's Creed.
Yeah.
A
They're
band
still-
that hasn't toured or performed for 10 years.
And I'll be
you can't
honest.
swing a cat without hitting somebody talking about Creed. I heard Mark Tremonti, the guitarist, get interviewed. He's like, yeah, we were going to kind of just do a one-off, but we're working on an album. We're doing our third Creed cruise called 1999 with like Lit and Fuel and all those bands.
Yeah.
It's already sold out. They just announced it. Already sold out. The only performer announced was Creed. They sold out a 3,000 or 4,000 person cruise in one day.
And
we could
don't
go.
Already like we're going on tour next year already.
We're too busy to tour. Yeah. Get these gigs. Yeah.
Don't hate me, but I was never a big fan of Creed ever. I don't know. I
didn't like any of those bands.
They came out at the right. I was going to say Brian wouldn't like them. They came out at the right time. If you were a fan of STP and Pearl Jam
Yep.
and Alice in Chains,
It was a crossrover drug
They-
to Christianity.
they
Yeah.
took enough of that, and then the rumor came out because being in San Diego, we have a band called Switchfoot, and Switchfoot is
they're all
a
like
highly
Christian alternative
acclaimed
bands.
Christian band. But I defy you guys if you ever want to upbeat kind of our Red Hot Chili Pepper style track, check out it, and I'll do it after the show. A track called "Float" by Switchfoot. It is a banger for like an upbeat cocktail track. Every time I play it, I get one or two people going, "Oh my God, I'm so happy you're playing this. I'm a big Christian rock fan. This is perfect." And then I'll get 3 or 4 people going, "Dude, who is this?" I'm like, "It's Switchfoot." They're like,
You've played that for us before.
Yeah, I did. And it's just a
You
straight
did.
up great track. But there's no like Christianity to it.
No, not in that. But what was the other band that did that song "Flood"?
Jars of Clay.
Flood.
Jars of
Jars of Clay.
Jars of
Yeah.
Jars of Clay. They were, no.
I mean, that
it's-
was
They
right
were
on the
topic,
radar.
but they're not preachy. You know what I mean? It's
No,
they'll lift me up, take me under, whatever. It's kind of
it was kind of a Noah's Ark
anthemic.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
If you say a band, if you went and said tomorrow, if you got up and put the word out in the media, Prince was actually immensely Christian with his message.
He
It would
was.
take 2 minutes for people to read every single song and change their opinion and go, "Oh, Doves Cry. He's talking about the ascension to heaven. I totally get it now." Like
That's not what he
you
was talking
hear-
about.
No, I know
No,
that. That's my point.
They read into things. Yeah.
So little
No,
squeaky
people will
noises,
hear it the way they want to. So
That sexy MF song, that was about Jesus. Yeah.
somebody will twist it.
Because
When
in the
Creed came
Bible,
out,
it says
that was the whole thing. They went, oh, they're Christian. I remember hearing My Own Prison. I'm like, you read the lyrics of My Own Prison, you're like, oh, man stuck in bad decisions. And okay, I totally get it. But then it's also just a guy that's kind of lost and broke up with a chick or whatever. Like it goes in every direction.
well, here I got one for you. And okay, I'm sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
No, well, he brought up the Christian rock. I was thinking Striper right away.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm thinking the song Honestly. And I like that song. I really did. But that's another one that I probably would never play at a wedding. I don't think it would fit. I don't know why. It's just me.
I always just thought it was odd to be a musician and only focus on one subject. It would be like if there was a genre of music called cat rock, and every song had to be about a cat or something about cats.
Oh, John.
And there were people who were big fans of cat rock, and they go to cat rock festivals, and all this band ever did was write songs that had to be about cats. That's weird to me. You should be an artist and write whatever you want.
But I think when you,
been my argument about Christian rock.
We could talk for the next 2 hours, and I can probably only name 3 groups that identify. So I think
as cat rock bands.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think part of it is, how do you set yourself apart with the other groups? I know our gimmick will be makeup. Ours will be outfits. You know what? Nobody's doing the God thing.
I want to start a new genre.
I want to tell you that's how you get played in Christian homes. You know, it's like, well, you can't listen to Motley Crue, but you can listen to Skillet. You know, it's
right. You can listen to Striper.
Yeah, the band that only does songs about weed whackers, and there's a whole genre, or lawn equipment, lawnmowers, weed whackers, hedge trimmers.
John
have to be about. You have to write songs about that, otherwise you're kicked out of the club, and you're a sellout.
There you go, Brian. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, all emails should be directed to you. Pissed off on his disco porch.
I'm not. I just think it's ridiculous to limit yourself to one subject matter as an artist.
Kenny Chesney has entered the chat.
It's hacky.
Yes, and I completely understand, but I just think that sometimes the gimmick goes further than.
Well, it goes beyond gimmick. It goes into band, genre. Yeah.
Kill to Prevail.
Slaughter to Prevail.
I just think it would be hilarious, the cat rock thing. And then all of a sudden, well, we're a dog family. We don't like that cat rock stuff around here. So we're not letting you buy that. Don't bring that into my house. But Dad, I like cats. We're dog people. I don't want to have that in my house. I'm just
gotta put cat stickers on the front of those CDs. Yeah.
Yeah. Ted Nugent's their God, by the way.
Dog spelled backwards is God. Cat spelled backwards is tack. It's stupid.
Yeah. All you got to do is tell someone, we could probably do this tonight. By tomorrow morning, I'm
not my house.
The internet's going to be on fire with, hey man, I'm going to see the Cat Rock Festival. It's on this island. Yeah, the island of Siamese. I'm really excited. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I'm going. We'll make it the new Fire Festival.
Right.
We'll call it Cat Fest. And we will. We'll have a huge picture of Ted Nugent just sitting on top of a mountain holding a guitar, being a cat. And
Nicole Scherzinger will be there from the Pussycat Dolls and all those cat bands. Yeah.
Prince will do Pussy Control.
Well, the funny thing is, I just looked it up, and there's like 42 songs of a quick search with either the artist with cats in their name or songs about cats.
Doja Cat will have to play.
Al Stewart.
Yeah, so
just announced Cat Williams doing a presentation. Excited.
That's it. Cats in the Corridor. Yeah, we got to get Harry Chapin's kid to come in and play that.
Brian S. Red Records presents Cat Fest. Where else could you be? The streets of Libya.
Well, I'm looking at all these artists, and it's like, wow, okay.
Tom and the Kitten, they'll play. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Fish had a song about cats.
That group, Nashville, I can't think of their last name. But I know what it is.
Yeah, we do. Nashville Cat, I think it's called. Yeah, I heard of them. Yeah.
Nashville Cat. They took it from Ted Nugent, who is the god of the festival. Yeah.
Right.
Damon.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, we had a conversation about Cat from Prince. Remember her?
Yeah.
She was a rapper on Alphabet Street.
Yeah.
She died the other day.
What?
Yeah.
Reaper's on fire this year, I'm telling you.
Dude, what the hell is going on?
And I remembered speaking of cats, I'll just do it because we're burning time on the show. We did what we had to do.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my evening with cat story because I have a cat story.
Oh, yeah, I know this story. Go for it. Yeah,
Go for
that's
it.
a good story.
Good story.
So, to make a very long story short, or this part of it anyway, I ended up on the VIP list as a +1 for the time. They were doing 2 shows at the Park East Hotel in Chicago. They were doing an early show and a late show. So we ended up VIP backstage, wherever we go. And we go to our section right up front.
Mhm.
And I end up next to this guy I know who he was like a Prince fan club guy, but I knew him. We weren't like friends, but I knew him.
Don't lie.
And he ended up
He was a co-president. Come on.
he ended up being the graphic artist on a couple or more than a couple of Prince albums in the 2000s. So he ended up doing the album artwork for Prince. But he was there with Kat.
Oh, nice.
And she was hilarious. She was real upset though, because Prince hadn't been returning her calls. So she had a plan. What she was going to do, because she knew his MO, is he's going to be watching this show from the sound booth. I know he's in town. He's going to be there. I know he's going to be there. So right before the last song of the final set, I'm going to leave and meet him in his car. And I'm going to ask him what's going on with this. I'm like, all right, whatever. And you could ask her a question about anything else, about her career or, stories that she had or whatever. And she'd smile and she'd tell the story. She was real open. But then she'd go right back to this thing when she's going to get him. And she kept like talking us through it. I'm going to get that last song. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get him. And there's a lot of 4-letter words involved. And I don't want Johnny to get flagged on the show because that's how she talked. She was Southside Chicago all day.
Okay.
She was for real. So anyway, I don't know if she was talking herself through it or talking us through it or what she was doing, but she kept talking about this plan she had that she was going to get him. So sure enough, we're looking right at the set list because we're right at the stage. We're looking right at their set list because it's taped to the floor for all the band members. And the last song was Jerk Out. So right before Jerk Out, she's like, all right, I'm out. And she runs. I'm like, okay, well, that was Kat. And, we see the rest of the show. And then we go up to, actually, the sound booth is where they all hung out afterwards. So we go up there. And sure enough, here comes Kat. She was walking in. I got him. The autograph. I got him. He was in the car, too. I'm like, yeah? Yeah. I started begging, I know you're in there. Roll the window down. I could just see this. It was like January. Right outside the Park East, and she's banging on it. I know you're. He finally rolls the window and says, I'm sorry, I'll call you, okay? You better call me. No, promise I'll call you. And roll the window back up. So that was my cat story. I thought it was funny. I just remembered it. I was trying to put it together. We just had the conversation, then she died, so I was.
Yeah.
She's persistent.
When you guys are done with an event and you're driving home from the gig, I don't think I'm alone in this, but I automatically go to talk radio. Like if I don't have Sirius put on, there's a show called Coast to Coast, which has been on forever. George Norrie. It's started with this guy, Art Bell, back in, I think, the early 90s, late 80s. He was if you called up and said, hey, Art, I just saw a UFO land in my backyard. What does it look like? Like he was into all of the freaky stuff. And every year on Halloween, he would do Ghost to Ghost. And people would call in with real life ghost stories that were horrific. None of them were gory, but he'd be like, I was in my basement, wrong place, and I saw shadow people. You could see the outline on the wall, and they move, and you're like in bed listening, going, okay, I need to turn a nightlight on or something. But about a year ago, I'm driving home listening to Coast to Coast, and they're interviewing Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top. And they're like, do you have any cool stories of dealing with any rockers? He's like, well, actually, yeah, we played in Minneapolis. And the word got back to me that someone wanted to meet me. And they would be at this like bar, nightclub, restaurant place. And it was Prince. And he kind of summoned Billy to show up. And Billy got there. He's like, we hung out for like 2-3 hours in this booth. And we just talked. And the host is like, so you hung out with Prince? He's like, yeah, it was super cool. I think we went and got ribs afterwards. And then we did something else.
You don't
But
serve
we were
ribs.
talking about artists and guitar.
I don't serve rib.
Yeah, or it was one of those weird things. Like I got a quesadilla with Prince. Like it wasn't.
Oh, that makes more sense.
And
He
he's
didn't
like, I got there and he's dressed all like really exotic, and we're in this booth and there's no one around us. But he was just super, super down to earth. Like all that, like, ooh, kind of goofy stuff just went away. And he was just like a dude talking about music. And he said he was super impressed with him.
I think he could turn it on and turn it off. You know,
I think it was late enough in his career that the talk was them doing something. Can you imagine a Prince and ZZ Top collab? That would be amazing.
Yeah, two guitar egos in one room. I don't know how that would work out.
I think Billy had his moments back in the 70s. Billy will school most people today, but I don't think it's on his mind. I think Billy's just like, you know what? We're just touring. You want to challenge me? You want to touch a rattlesnake? It might bite you.
Well, the thing with Billy, though, I mean, when I'm thinking about just Tush. There's a style to that. That's not.
That's swing.
Look how well I can play. This is the style I play.
The swag. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he can be imitated.
No, he did Blue Jean Blues, which is just like, and Fool for Your Stockings. Like there's some tracks he does that you just listen to and go, wow. Like shockingly great guitar.
Good enough to open to Hendrix back in the day. So
and Hendrix caught when he was with the Moving Sidewalks, and Hendrix is like, "This is like you've seen it." What was he on the Tonight Show or Dick Cavett?
Yeah,
He's like,
somewhere.
Like you seen any good guitar players? He's like, the best guy I've seen is this guy Billy Gibbons in this other band that opened for me. I mean, that's sort of a necklace that you get to wear forever, you know. But yeah, it's the funny thing with Prince.
John reminded me in chat that we have not mentioned our sponsor yet. DJ Event Planner is our sponsor for the show tonight. Thank you so much, DJ Event Planner, for helping us bring the show to the 7 people out there who watched it. And I want to thank them as well as our other sponsors. You can learn more about them down here in the description of this video on YouTube. Sorry, little.
I love how we all do this. Like, this is where you're going to find DJ Event Planner right here.
Not here.
I got you, DJ Event Planner right here, pal. Come on,
It don't look good when you do that. No,
because it's right below me.
Right
here, right below me.
Right there.
Right here. And Jay,
how do you say it?
Jay, you brought up a good point. When you're done a gig and you're driving home, you chose to listen to that talk
radio every time.
What I do driving home is I'll beat myself up all the way home. Like, what could I have done better? Like, okay, this part went well, or anybody else maybe do that too?
Analysis.
I think we're all critical of ourselves afterwards too. Yeah,
we 100%. Are. We're our own worst enemy.
But only if you forgot something.
I don't want music on because I don't want to be like, I should have played this tonight. Why didn't I play that song?
Well, that too.
Oh, that girl that just came up right at the end that wanted that one. I didn't get to that.
I could have worked that in with this.
Yeah.
I'm a sports talk guy all day after a gig. I need to do sports.
Sports talk.
Yeah, sports talk.
What do you listen to, Brian? This is going to be interesting.
Jay's going to take it the wrong way. Jay's going to take this totally the wrong way. He's going to monologue on this after I say this. He's going to take what I said and he's going to distort it.
Happen.
He listens to Henry.
Not my favorite, but one of my favorite parts of any gig is when it's over because I've accomplished it.
100%.
It's done. Yeah. And I'm
100%.
relieved.
I think that goes with everyone here. Yes.
100%.
So on my drive home, I feel, I don't want to say a sense of pride or accomplishment. I feel a sense of completion, like I've fulfilled an obligation. And I feel a sense of relief that it's went well. Yeah. Because I don't screw stuff up anymore. It's been a long time.
But you're excited about it. I'm sure you're like me.
I go into yes.
And you can't sleep when you get home. Everyone's like, "Oh, you must be exhausted."
That's true.
My wife be like, "You're exhausted. You're going to bed." I'm like, "No, I'm really high right now." She's like,
I'm still
pumped up from the gig.
Right. However, I'm relieved to not be standing anymore.
Yeah,
it's nice to be sitting. And when I'm driving the trucks, they're big chairs, with armrests, and it's nice. Usually a cooler breeze than when I load it in with the windows down.
100%.
Sometimes I drive home in silence because I've been listening to music all night.
Right.
Other times, I might play something that I think would have been nice to play at the gig, but I wasn't able to. So if it was a very, what I would call pedestrian gig where you're playing Footloose and Party in the USA and whatever, I might put on some EDM because that's something that I didn't have the opportunity to play, but it would have been nice to hear. Or I might put on some yacht rock if it was one of those gigs, something just to chill me out.
Do that again, Brian. What kind of gig?
What I used to do on my way home is talk to Jay. Because Jay used to call me on the way home from the gig.
Well, that was
I would have like a 3-hour drive, and I'd be talking to Jay all the way home.
100%, 100%. And real quick, another cool thing to do when I do gigs in San Diego, if they're done at like 10, 11 at night on the drive home, there's a dance station in San Diego that always has a mixed DJ on Saturdays, and I'll literally put that on, not too loud, but I'll put my phone on auto Shazam.
Oh,
Because they're playing the newest dance remixes of tracks, and I'll get home and then go back to my phone and be like, listen to it. Be like, oh, that's a good, let me look for that track. I found Other Side by Justin Timberlake and SZA that way. And a bunch of like club dance tracks because I'm like, oh, I don't know this Hex Hector remix of whatever. And it's genuinely a way to find it because the DJs on a Saturday night radio station that are playing are not playing Sandstorm. They're playing the newest whatever. And I don't listen to dance radio at all.
Yeah.
there isn't any out there. Really.
Opportunity.
Yeah, well, there is on XM.
No, there is, but
yeah.
XM, I'm like Eddie Trunk, Howard Stern, chill, bluegrass. Like
I think we've talked about this before. I like listening to Howard Stern, but my problem is once I start, I don't stop, and I don't listen to anything else.
right.
So I try to avoid it. One thing that I have done, and I remember and have very fond memories of it, is when I have those long drives home, like those hour-and-a-half drives or whatever. Because sometimes you do. You got to, go out to get the gigs way out. I think it was 70s on 7 on XM.
Right.
They used to
Love that
replay.
station.
They used to replay the Casey's Coast to Coast. Of the
I was just going to say that.
Those are
Every
nice.
Saturday
Oh, that's cool to listen to.
So I was guessing what song would be number one, based on the year and what was going on or whatever.
What was ahead of it? Yeah. You're
What
like,
haven't I heard yet? You hear all these bangers, like, oh my God, this is great. What could possibly be number one? What could have beat that song? It's so much fun.
Yeah,
I
no,
wish
I 100%
80s
agree
on
with that.
Yeah, that
I
stuff's
wish
all
it
great.
was
That keeps your
on
brain busy when
Yeah.
you're driving the
Here's
dark
something to think
roads.
about.
Yeah.
I wish 80s on
I
8
talked to
would
his
do the,
daughter about a
80s
month
date.
ago when I was in Vegas, right? Carrie.
Oh, did you?
Carrie Kasem?
She's dating DJ, yeah. And he grabbed me, took me out front of the venue, this We All Scream place. He goes, I want you to say hi to somebody. And it was FaceTime with Carrie Kasem. And I was like, I was a huge fan of you on Sixth Sense, but I have to tell you, as a full-time DJ, myself and a lot of other people have completely taken things from your dad because he's just a god to us as a DJ.
Oh, he'll
She
always
was really touched to hear that. I think.
yeah.
She was
He'll
super,
always be
super
a
happy.
god in my
Tens of thousands of hours we've listened to Casey Kasem.
Yeah,
So,
We have,
like,
and it's the
legit.
delivery, and it's how you do. It's like, we all steal from, what is it? Great artists steal, bad artists copy or something. But
Yeah, something like that.
something like that. But yeah, I mean, I wholeheartedly try to steal from artists that I respect and think did a great job before me because they had to get to that point. Why do you want to climb that mountain on your own
That's it.
if you can get to halfway up?
Yeah,
then
you
can
you,
do the rest
you
of it.
imitate until you come into your own.
Yeah,
Eric,
oh,
you
yeah,
had something you
100%.
wanted to get out there.
Yeah.
I was just saying that, like the 70s on XM would do the Casey. I would love the 80s do the Casey from the 80s.
That'd be fun. Yeah,
To me,
would
it's
be
more
fun.
interesting,
What's her face?
I like it.
Blackwood does a countdown on,
Nina Blackwood. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's who does it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is interesting to hear the tracks. You're like, oh, I forgot about that song.
Because of Casey, like I no longer do long distance dog dedications at my
No,
weddings.
I've stopped. I've stopped.
I ruined your childhood with that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
He did them better than anyone. Why try to top that?
That's some
Like,
spicy
I-
words he brought up that day. Yes, they were.
yeah.
And now
And it was
I
a
have a
main
long
station
distance
too. If
dedication.
you hear that the video that we're both talking about.
Going out to Brian in Wisconsin.
I
And
never liked
Brian
the
likes-
dedications. I just was so uninterested. I wanted to hear what was really going on, what was. No one knew the countdown. But
No.
you know, I think the Nina Blackwood one. I mean, they're newer that she's doing. Here's 1984. Let's talk about the best songs. Well, yeah, she's making that up. But Casey was real time. That's what the charts really were. Billboard.
Right. Who's the one that does it? Sounds like she had 10 packs, smoked 10 packs of
Nina
Nina Blackwood.
Blackwood.
That's her? Yeah, okay.
Sounds like Jay.
Yeah.
Makes you
Yeah.
sound like a 14-year-old boy, Eric. So let's just.
She could have smoke, yeah.
Blackwood. Would you like some more coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get room in the trunk.
How do you like your steak? Yeah. Like the diner waitress, they all sound the
It
same.
was cute when she was 22. It was a long time ago.
No, you're right. You're
Everybody
right.
freeze, nobody gets hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Good show, guys.
Yeah.
Good show. We had fun.
Awesome.
Started on a topic and then squirrel and had
Drifted.
fun.
Well, we
Like
read
any other show.
not too many liberties. we stayed on track.
Talk
But we had
music.
fun. And it was
Music
engaging.
show.
And we didn't scare Kevin too badly.
No.
And we did not.
Little Kevin is doing well.
Doing all right.
And Damon,
I like
thank you
he's
for
pulling the hardcore
Yeah.
death rock out of nowhere. Like, yeah, when I get to the
Damon.
wedding, I like to play death rock. It's like great.
It was fun to have Damon in his
Oh, I
disclosure.
really like Cannibal Corpse, but they don't like that at weddings. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why,
Unless you
like-
play the Vitamin Strings version, then they're all right.
Yeah, then that's okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
but
you-
Blood
Blood Rock
just
by
not the
G-
same.
DOA by Blood Rock. Why can't I pull this off?
I play it at home and I don't feel fulfilled. I have to play
Yeah.
the regular version.
we get like piano guys like Bolt Thrower or something. Can we get one of those bands?
Yeah. Kevin, if you
They-
play it and feel the need to shut the door to the basement when you play it, it may not be what you want to play pre-wedding. I'm just saying, if you need
Yeah.
a line in the sand,
You play it loud enough
in
and
the dark.
yeah, the cops keep showing up. It's
Yeah.
like that might not be the right music for the wedding. Yeah.
When you start
right.
turning photos on the wall upside down, that's another sign. Maybe it's not wedding worthy.
Yeah. You won't hear
Wanna-
Creed in that room.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Damon for joining us on
Yes,
his
thank you, Damon.
cruise or his exotic vacation or whatever he's doing, his
Yeah.
witness protection program thing.
He's in the
Thank you
bunker.
for joining us
Come
and
on.
participating in the show.
No
We will
problem.
see you all next
Much
time.
love, bro.